For the second series in a row, the Lakers lost the first game to the underdog. But while the Blazers came in shorthanded and continued to suffer key injuries, the Rockets are fully loaded with the unique brand of basketball that plays as the polar opposite of how the Lakers play. But this wasn't about a clash of styles or a team getting hot from outside. This was about effort. And considering this is the second round of the NBA playoffs, what the Lakers put forth, particularly LeBron and AD, is simply not gonna cut it. Much could be said about James Harden being free of the intense pressure of OKC's Lou Dort and lighting up the scoreboard for 36 points on 60% shooting against the Lakers guards. Or the big run in the fourth that opened up the game while Harden was resting on the bench. But what I want to focus on is the poor defense and effort exhibited by the Lakers' two stars. And while you might deem the following analysis too harsh, I will humbly remind you that this is the playoffs, a time for exceptional energy, next level adjustments on the fly, and utilizing every ounce of talent to make the extraordinary plays happen on a consistent basis. Early in the game, the Rockets go bold by attacking LeBron in the pick and roll. This is all good as he's shading Harden to his right and keeping him in front. But with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, he goes for the left foot jab and jumps out of the way, leaving a free run to the rim and JaVale late with this contest. Turnovers really hurt the Lakers, and when they try to take advantage of Harden guarding JaVale McGee and giving up 6 inches, this nonchalant pass and failure to keep Harden back ignite the fast break. Hey, stuff happens, but what do you do to make up for it? I know Davis has to pick up the ball, but there's no one else back, and playoff basketball would dictate some hustle to get over to the corner and get a damn hand up. This was midway through the first, and the Lakers already were looking like they were running in mud. While LeBron's job is to bump down on the roll man, it's also his job to turn and run and contest this shot in the corner. This lack of effort is embarrassing. At the end of the first, Caruso foolishly helps one pass away. Now he's got a 15-foot closeout and gets beat easily. In the regular season, you'd say Rondo is the lowest man and it's his rotation to help. But in the postseason, when AD is on the weak side as well, he should be rotating over to offer a much bigger and better contest of this shot. LeBron decides to help one pass away, worried about Russ attacking Kuzma. I get it, but they want him to pull up and shoot a mid-range shot. If he gets to the hoop, that's why Dwight is in down low. I know Rivers has been lousy from 3 in the playoffs, but I just don't think you can give these guys anything, and it would be arrogant to think you could. This is a wide open jumper when Rivers has a 6-foot radius around him as he begins swinging his arms up into the shot, and he buries it. So this could be more of a team-wide concept thing, but they clearly want to double Russ when he's posting up. So that's why Dwight is there, and should just stay there. LeBron doubling one pass away like this just invites a breakdown of the defense, and the Rockets find the open shooter on the weak side because of it, as Houston extends the lead to 5. So I pointed out how I wanted to see AD help instead of Rondo earlier, but that was because AD was on the weak side. Now in this situation, Rondo is in proper help, Dwight is on his way back down to get involved, so AD absolutely cannot help on this short roll. This is the easiest play the Rockets could get, and it gives up another open 3. The Rockets force the switch with Davis on Harden. Before he can get to work, Danny Green just doubles from one pass away. If this is the game plan, why don't Kuzma and LeBron know about it? To make matters worse, where is LeBron going as the ball's on its way to the rim? Like I said, this is the playoffs where extraordinary plays are necessary and he's not trying to make any. And when I say extraordinary, I also mean not walking it back on defense and helping a teammate who's getting beat. At least take a couple of steps in that direction, sheesh. The Rockets took my advice from the beginning of the year and have used Harden in the post. You'd think the Lakers would be very concerned and want to help or double this. AD is guarding Russ. You can leave him on the perimeter and go help. Instead, Harden scores easily. Towards the end of the third, LeBron finds himself guarding Russ on the wing, and I like that he gives him a little cushion to dare him to shoot a slightly contested long shot. but instead he gets blown by and gives up a layup. So we got some effort from Davis to get back on defense and stop an open shot in the corner in transition, and it forces the Rockets to swing the ball to the other side. Austin Rivers gets right into the middle, and here's where we've got to demand something out of the ordinary. LeBron needs to make a play on this drive. Instead, it's an and one. We had seen how Lou Dort could get under a screen but still hustle back to get a hand up and try to contest Harden in round one. Going under the screen for Russ is fine, but whatever Davis does here is simply not acceptable for what should be the intense atmosphere of the playoffs. I know I might sound over-demanding here, but I can't stress enough that this isn't the regular season anymore, and you have to leave it all on the floor every second. LeBron's man brings him right to perfect held position to protect the rim as Gordon takes Kuzma into the lane. But he's just a spectator as the Rockets get yet another layup. As the game is rapidly slipping away, the defensive mindset has to change. You can't give him anything. I won't harp too much on AD's defense here, and I doubt he could get much closer without getting totally blown by, but Russ hits it with about 6 feet of space and the end is near. I'm not gonna lie, this play got me upset. On a baseline out of bounds, Davis needs to be on the dotted line here. He wasn't paying attention or was cheating, thinking Gordon was going to come around the Jeff Green screen. Danny Green was also at fault for getting beat so easily, but Davis is supposed to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate for these very situations, and honestly, I'm not so sure why he's in that conversation. Another reason I feel that way is because of his consistent attempts at taking charges. He should be contesting these types of shots in the air and utilizing his supreme length. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to rely on the random musings of a referee in real time. And of course, when they reviewed this, it was still a foul on AD because Harden got in the air before he got into a legal guarding position. Use some of that athleticism more often, man. On the next play, AD has got to realize Harden cannot skip the ball to his man because the rim is in the way, so he must pick up the cutting Westbrook and protect the rim. He's way late, just in time for the goaltend. And to put the finishing touches on this lackluster performance, LeBron does a good job to stunt and recover back to Tucker. But on the dribble handoff to the wing, it's almost comical how he plays this against Harden of all people. And this game is over way before the buzzer actually sounds. When the Lakers roster is as top-heavy as it is, you have to expect more than the typical output from LeBron James and Anthony Davis. If you add up all the points the Rockets scored in these clips, it equals 46. Together, LBJ and AD only combined for 45. And when they're not getting much production out of anybody else, they're not going to get much farther in these playoffs. I have no doubt Frank Vogel will go through this footage with his guys, and they'll come up with more ferocity to start Game 2. But it just feels like something is off with this team. LeBron had alluded to it a few weeks ago, and unless they can unleash an exponential amount more energy going forward more consistently, the Rockets will continue exploiting the defense for easier and easier buckets. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more playoff breakdowns coming up. We'll have at least one a day during the postseason, so turn on those notifications so you can be alerted right away. You in?